Good morning, children. Today we are going to study the latter part of the chapter, On the Face of It. On the face of it, let me give you a brief introduction. It involves Mr. Lamb and Derry. Mr. Lamb had a tin leg and Derry was burnt on the face. Now, both of them were handicapped, but Mr. Lamb saw the positive side of everything, whereas Derry, he was more towards the negative side. He always lamented about thought about his defect. And in fact, he says, people are afraid of me. I'm not afraid of people. And he comes in contact with Mr. Lamb, and Mr. Lamb then tries to change his thought process. He tells him, if we go to page 63, the first paragraph, the first dialogue of Mr. Lamb, that he says that you've got 2 arms, 2 legs, eyes and ears, tongue and brain. Why do we see our defect only? Why don't we see what we have actually got? That is what the speaker, the writer is speaking through Mr. Lamb to all of us. He says that if we set our mind not on our defect but on our positive things, then we can do better than the rest. Then they sit and then they have a chat, and then afterwards Derry, he talks about like people who walk on the street are not our friends. And Mr. Lamb says that doesn't mean that they are our enemies. And then it is a very beautiful dialogue of Mr. Lamb on page 64. He says that if you hate people, that is worse than acid. Acid only burns your physical self, but hatred burns you from inside. And that's why Shakespeare calls jealousy, a hatred, a green-eyed monster. Anyway, then afterwards they keep talking and conversing, and Derry feels very free with Mr. Lamb. He can discuss anything he wants. And then he offers to help Mr. Lamb to pluck the apples, the crab apples, which Mr. Lamb used to make jelly and distribute it to all the children who came in his garden. And Derry wanted to take permission from his mother, or rather inform his mother before helping Mr. Lamb. And so he runs home, and when he goes to his mother is very much annoyed. She says, no, you're not going to Mr. Lamb. And then he defies the mother and he comes to the garden again. And as he enters the gate, there's a loud crash, and unfortunately the ladder slipped on which Mr. Lamb was, and he fell down and he died. So Derry is very much disheartened because Lamb was his only friend, and he feels very sorry. And it has a very sad ending that Lamb is dead and Derry is all alone once more. But before that, Lamb has put a positive thinking in Derry, not to think about his defects much, but see the brighter side of life. And this is all we must also do, children. We may be very tall, short, anything, but then leave that apart. We've got to think of the good qualities which we've got in us, not the bad things. So this is all for just today. And children, I will be giving question answers in the document section. You will solve the questions. Thank you.